All right, welcome to today's edition of Firefighting Fridays. I'm Jeff Diederich with Strategic Fire Training, and we're going to go over our FDIC course and class today. We're going to talk about what we did last year, what we're going to present this year. Of course, we have Jeff Shupe, Jerry Knapp, John Mateer, Chad Gruver, and Micah Hydeman here with us tonight. And we're just going to have a look through what we did last year, kind of go into some of the deets on that and lay it out for you guys for those that are coming out this year. Give you a little taste of what to expect, and it's not going to be as wet watching it, but you'll get the idea. Tens of thousands of gallons of water in this engine company class. So, all right, Jeff, take it away here.
Okay. Well, I think this is a great photo of a great group of guys who teach a great class at the hands-on training for FDIC. I'll give you a brief introduction of left to right. That's Martin Rainey, and he's from out in the Seattle area. Next to him is Tony Kumo, East Liverpool, Ohio. There's Jeff Diederich right there, another one outside of Cleveland in Bedford, Ohio. Blake Dieber right there, and he's a guy we come across years ago in Iowa, but now he's up at Western Tech for La Crosse, Wisconsin, and he's head of the fire training program up there. And there's yours truly. So let's move on to the next guy, and that's what's your name? Oh yeah, Mr. Gruver, Chad Gruver, and he's out of Texas, Addison, Texas. Next to him is John Mateer, my old Goomba from Cleveland, and so forth. Next to him is Micah Hydeman. Micah, the guy who jumped ship from Manhattan, swam all the way to Kansas City, Kansas, and that's where he's at. Next to him is Tim Pillsworth, and Tim is one of the members of the group and so forth. He's represents his part of the country over by Winona Lake, and I guess he's been on one or two other companies, right, Jer? So
Yep. He's in Washingtonville now, kind of up in the Hudson Valley.
yeah. And then right next to him, Jerry Knapp. All right. And I don't think Jerry needs any introduction, but Jerry is, one of my old pals from the old days and so forth. And he's just got a new book out on gas fire emergencies and things like that. He's got the previous book out on private dwelling fires. So, so those are the people you're going to see when you come to our class. And by the way, I'll might as well get it out right now. We only have, out of the 2 days, in fact, we probably picked up a couple of students. We only had like 5 openings left a couple of days ago. So one class was already completely booked, solid, and the other one had 5 openings. But if you want to try to get in, perhaps we can get a few extra people in. So if you're interested in coming to our class, give it a try, and I'll probably get a phone call, seeing if we can take some extra people. All right. So this is how our day starts. After the bus gets there, and that's going to be about 8 o'clock in the morning or sometime thereabouts, we have the students get their gear out, and we're going to have everybody get together where we're going to introduce everybody, find out where they're from, introduce ourselves, and then we're going to give them the course objectives. We're going to go over the goals of this class, because this is an engine company operations class that we teach. And I know this may sound like I'm proud of it, which I am. I am very proud of what the material is that we put out there, and all the instructors that we have, because they do a top job. So what we do, we get everybody together. We want everybody to have no apprehensions or anything coming into this class. We want them to be able to take what we give them and learn it and be able to do it by the end of the day, whether it's picking up an 1 3/4 line, or operating a 2.5, or setting up a master stream, or whatever it is their situation is. When our students leave our class, we want them to be able to be aggressive and go after a fire with that kill mentality. So, yeah, you could see, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to go back there. That's some of the equipment you're going to work with right there. All the different kinds of nozzles throughout the day. So you can't see everything over there, but you got different types of nozzles. We got all kinds of appliances. And to the left, you can barely see it, but you're going to be working with master stream equipment also. So, okay, very good.
There you go.
Okay. What we do after we have the introductions and we state what the class is all about, we get the students together and we go through something called show and flow. And this is where we want to have everybody go over the different size attack hose lines. And that's where we're going to go over their nozzle mechanics, proper pump pressures, and then hose line management. So we'll set up 3 or 4 hose lines of the same size, depending on how many students we have. And we push everybody through that. Once we're done with the 1 3/4 line, then we go to the next size up. And we'll do that and repeat that process with the 2-inch line. Once we're done with 2-inch, then we go to 2.5, and then we go into master stream operations and let the people work with those things right there. So here we are, just going over so everybody's on the same page. And that's the other thing. We want everybody to be on the same page. We want everybody to learn this process and simple things like, for example, let's just say you're a firefighter who is a member of a 3-member engine that arrives at a working fire, and you have, let's just say, an 1 3/4 line stretched out and you're waiting for water. Just like you see here, guys kneeling, and that's what we're going to tell everybody. That's what you need to do rather than getting that water coming at you and slamming into the nozzle that should be closed anyhow and maybe knocking you down. So these are the things, little tidbits, little nuggets, and little safety features that you're going to get throughout the day. Our guys are going to make sure that you pick up this stuff and again, make you safer, better, more efficient, and at the same time, more aggressive firefighter from the fire attack perspective. Okay.
Going backwards here for a second.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. This is called door control. And generally what we do, we'll go through the first 2 sizes of hose lines with show and flow. And then what we'll do is get everybody together because we're talking about a lot of stuff. Again, the students come into a class, and this is the great thing about having FDIC and a class like this, and that is we get people from all over the country. One of the things that we realize is that some students, and this is, honest to God, hard to believe, but there's some who have never had a fire hose line in their hand before they came to our class. In their situation, they were given the turnout gear. Hey, go here and this and that and whatever, It's like we always get that once in a while, that statement that I've never done this before. So anyways, this is what we do. We start putting the hose line and scenarios to the students just about after we get through the second scenario for the show and flow. So this is a little bit of door control. So everybody will go through this. Everybody will go through each of the positions too, whether you're the door control firefighter or the firefighter in the nozzle, or you're backing up. So, okay. Okay. There's John Mateer right there. Oh, John.
Hang on, Shupe. I think this is a video. Let's see if I can get it to work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll like this.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. So what we have here is our simulated warehouse. And we got a bunch of stuff in there, as you can see. And what you don't see is that, number one, that firefighter for Travis City has a master stream that he's controlling from that position. But to the bottom of the screen and going to the right around this door jamb right here is a 2.5. So that 2.5 is going down probably, I'm just going to say 10 or 12 feet. And then they're bending the hose to the left. And their job in this tactical scenario is to stop the fire from getting over to the building next door. And so what we're doing is throwing in a neighborhood of probably 700 to 800 gallons a minute from the master stream and the 2.5. So you have one firefighter working the master stream device and one firefighter backing him up. And then you have 2 to 3 firefighters on the 2.5. So you can see that's a very good use of personnel there. And it's big water delivery and it's very doable. So I think that's a great thing. And by the way, when I was kidding about, there's old John, that's an old Dean Martin thing right there. But anyways, yeah, John does a great job of getting the guys in here. And of course, we've got a couple of other instructors that are in the foreground here that you don't see, that are making sure everything's playing in there right. One of the keys here to anything, anytime you have a hose line going into a structure like this, keep it in your mind to keep that hose line straight. Remember, when you're throwing that much water, you've got a hell of a lot of fire again in front of you. Should things go bad, you don't want to have to follow a whole bunch of hose and loops and circles and whatever or whatever to get out of that place quickly. Plus, it's better for the water flow, and it's also better for the management of the hose line also. So just wanted to pass that on.
You can also see at the bottom of the video, there is an incredible amount of water coming out of that building.
Yeah.
I believe that's just day one class.
Okay. All right. So this is what we've done in many places when we've gone across the country. And we go into a place, we want to teach firefighting from the attack line standpoint is not just taking a hose line in a doorway, down a hallway, or down to a stairwell and up a stairwell, down a hallway there. No. We show different ways of getting hose lines into buildings. And surprisingly, once again, here's where those comments come in. We've never done that from an aerial ladder before. Well, other fire departments have. And so we want to make sure that every student knows that there's different options and different methods of getting hose lines into buildings. So this is one of them right here. So, all right. Jerry, I think this is your area right here. The guys are getting ready to go upstairs with the line or something like that.
Yeah, the station I have I call it the house fire station, where Jeff is taught nozzle mechanics and good advancement procedures, and this is just an opportunity to do it without us being up your butt. So it's an opportunity for you to perfect your skills. We'll do it with 1 3/4 inch, and then we'll move up to a 2-inch line. 1 3/4 inch is going to flow about 180 gallons a minute, and that 2-inch is going to be around 230, 240. And you'd be surprised. You almost don't know the difference. Obviously, a lot more GPMs, a little more reach out of that 2-inch line. So after we've taught you the mechanics of what to do with that nozzle and backup man, all those positions, there's an opportunity for you to perfect your skills.
Excellent. This is standpipe ops, and that's another thing that the students are going to do here. And that is, we're going to have an actual standpipe scenario. We're going to have it hooked up, because when it comes to standpipe operations, if you want to get deep into the weeds on standpipe operations, then you have to dedicate a whole day to it. There's just no question about that, because you have to go over things like what kind of hose rolls or hose loads you want to use, and pumping into systems, and where you hook up and how you stretch your lines out. That's a whole day if you want to break it down. But what we do, we have the system all hooked up, ready to go, where the students can see it. And we also have a flow meter on this outlet up here. So the students, when they start attacking in the hallway upstairs, because that line, as you see right there, goes into a doorway and down a hallway and then back, and then comes up the stairwell where the gentleman with the bald head is standing, Jeff? I don't know. And the hose line comes up and goes to those stairways, and then ends up at the door, and that's where the attack will begin. But we want students to be able to see that, how what we feel is a proper layout coming from the standpipe outlet on the floor below the fire floor. So, but they're gonna have a lot of fun up there because, Jeff, you wanna tell them what you got in the store? Like, you take what, 1 or 2 turns and it's black after that?
Yeah, it's a decent hallway that it's been built. It's been in there for many years, but got some obstacles, some narrowing, and makes it challenging. And when you're using that 2-inch line and it's, it's pushing 250, sometimes 260 gallons a minute, it's enough to, wake you up when you're using it. Because as you know, that nozzle reaction is predicated on flow. So I think the students grab some appreciation out of that drill where they're going after it with the big line, but it is way more maneuverable because it is the 2-inch line. So that's a great drill up there for sure. And that was that on the 5th floor that we have that built on there. But that training center, as you can see, that each floor is like 26 feet tall. It looks like it's a bit out of spec, I would say.
I think it's on the 5th, but it feels like the 20th.
It feels like it. Yeah, it's up there.
Hey, in years gone by, a couple of guys who we used to do this class with, they'd have these guys in tanks and they were going up there from the bottom to the top. So,
give them a beating. And that's one of the things, we try to stress in our classes. We want the students to focus on the technique. And though the endurance side of the job it certainly requires training with your tank on, when you're with us for 6-8 hours, we don't need you wearing an extra 25 pounds to wear you down. We've got plenty of work for you. So what we're looking for here is, and it's why none of this group is wearing their tanks, is this is towards the end of the day, and we don't want people to fade, and we don't want people to miss the extra bits that we're putting out there, especially getting into the 2-inch line, working off the standpipe, and why that is such a great tool for the fire service.
I think we got a lot of pictures of the 2-inch in the standpipe.
Yeah. It's interesting, is just because a lot of the country hasn't seen it, or hasn't seen it even applied in that regard. So
nope, don't trust it.
He's running from the down below there.
yeah, there's a good picture of the hose line, how it should be stretched from the floor below up to the fire floor. And that should be in any situation, really. Again, like you guys said, these stairwells here are not the norm. And they're great for training and getting groups of firefighters together to go over things in a real situation. I'm sure many of you guys out there who've operated off a standpipe know that sometimes those stairwells, they're 10 by 5. They don't give you a lot of room to work.
Right. Very tight.
Like some ridiculous narrow.
Yeah. I think this one's 12 just to the half landing.
It might be. No, I don't think it's 12, but it's probably, I think it's around between 15 and 18 feet per floor. That's what we figured out one time. So 6 stories is like a 9-story building. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. If your elevator's out or your department specifies or has a SOP that says, if the fire's here, we don't take the elevator. Well, then that's what you do. Here's a good idea right here where you can, or a good way of finding out, what it takes.
You're really getting a good picture of Hurricane Shupe there too.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's what that video was, but I'm with you, Chad. I don't trust it.
No.
This guy did a great job, by the way. Jerry, that's a friend of yours. I remember, we talking
Yes.
to him. He did a great job of hustling and lightening up on the line at this evolution.
Yeah, I think he was the 3rd man in that stretch, and he was up and down that stairs a number of times. That's Joe. Joe's a member of the fire department that protects the Giant Stadium in Rutherford, New Jersey. Good guy. Yeah.
Didn't we eat dinner with him that night?
Yeah, we did.
Yep, we did. Yeah, Joe's a good guy.
Going back to
Because-
that picture, that is what that guy's job is.
It
It
is.
is running around, a lot of work. Not a lot of glory, but a lot of work.
You know, that's a great point because, you know, you can tell people you're going to be hustling, but this guy did it. I mean, he did it well. You, like I say, you could see from the illustrations here, but he was up and down that stairwell pulling the slack and on the proper outside of the bend of the hose, positioning himself properly that way. So kudos to him.
There's a good proper
Hey.
positioning.
He was smiling the whole time too.
I do trust this video.
A little bit at a time.
That's pretty realistic as well, because that's how we're going in. We're not teaching you to run in, so you're only gonna be going a few feet at a time anyhow.
Okay, this is looking up from the landing to the fire floor here, up here. And there's that doorway right there. And like, and I guess you call it the center of the picture right there. And that's where the line goes in. Yeah.
You know, it's just one of the best parts about that exercise, Jeff, is, you know, we talk teamwork all day long. And by the time we get to this exercise, I mean, everybody's pretty gassed from working all day.
Yeah.
None of this happens without teamwork. I think it
Oh,
kind of
for sure.
sets it in,
For
you know.
sure. Yep. We were fortunate both days that the guys or the students that we had came together, did
Oh.
together as team members. Yeah, they listened.
Hang on, Jeff. Your
Well,
internet's
they
tough. Hang on.
did both days. It, me?
Jeff, you there?
Shupe, you were breaking up there.
Yeah,
Is that
give me
right?
a test. You all right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
We
you
were sure.
buffered.
Yeah. He buffed out.
Oh,
So you were
Right.
saying we were fortunate to have a good crew both days, and then we lost you.
oh, okay. Yeah, we had 2 days, 2 different crews, and in each day, they came together. They did work together as team members and so forth. And yes, you know, the weather, you know, and so forth. Hey, they were tired. You know, by the time the middle of the afternoon came around, you know, they had been doing. By the way, that's one thing I forgot to mention was that once we get done with show and flow, and show and flow is going to take a few hours right there too, working with all the different size hose lines and the master stream appliances. But then we break off into the 4 work sessions. This is one of the sessions right there. Jerry Knapp's got one, John's got one. And then I don't know if we got pictures of Micah's, you know, where he's got you stretching at the rear of the building, up 2 or 3 floors, you know, and down this way, up that way, and so forth. So, but that's what we do. We run the students. You got me?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
we did.
Okay, good. Okay, something just popped up on my screen. But anyways, we run the students through all these different workstations, and you know, and it prepares them to do these things of engine work in a disciplined manner. And again, where it takes teamwork to do it, so it works out pretty good. So, yeah.
You know, with all the evolutions, Jeff, you said that the guys come in as individuals from across the country, and you know, because they're working together so hard during the day, they make friends, and all of a sudden you've got friends in different fire departments from across the country. You know, certainly just an offshoot of our training.
Yeah, for sure. Here's day 2, I think.
Yeah, day 2. I think there's some more pictures of show and flow.
Yeah. This is one of the things we do in show and flow. This is what we were talking about earlier when we said you're going to work with master streams right here. So, you know, we got several of those out there, you know, and again, that's one of the scenarios you're going to be working with John Mateer. And that's the heavy streams being put in operation into a supposed warehouse or some type of commercial facility. So, yeah, very good.
Don't think it'll be as warm this time as it was last time?
Yeah, we're going from August back to April here.
Don't
I
know.
was thinking about that. We had them in the shade because it was already warm.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have that problem this year.
Yeah. So there's the chutes or the lanes where we put the 3 different hose lines. And we work with the students there, like I said before, going over. Yeah, one of the biggest things really needs to be taught for any hose line, and that is the proper nozzle pressure. It's proper nozzle pressure. You know, again, when you come to us, we're going to talk to you. Don't over pump it. Don't under pump it. A nozzle, a solid bore nozzle, or a 50 psi fog nozzle is designed to be pumped at that pressure, and that's when they give their best performance. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give students an excellent class, and you're going to get the basics, you're going to get the principles, and you're going to get the whys and the why nots. And I think that's one of the great things about our staff of guys. You know, they've got the experience to answer the questions. So, all right.
I think one of the important things about this slide, Jeff, is that those cones more than delineate the lanes. We teach just advancing about 5 feet and then seeing what you got. Knock the fire down, advance a little more. You know, this idea of a bonsai charge with everybody yelling and like, you know, you're going to jump off a cliff, probably isn't the smartest way to advance a hose line. But, you know,
Good point.
Using your head, and those cones are important markers.
Right. Yeah. Good point, Jer. Thank you.
Let's see what else we got.
Just another, you know, and here we go. Here we go. Guys are working the 2.5 ends. Okay. Or this might be the master stream because it's being fed by the first line. I think that's what John had, right? He had the master stream go in first, started hitting it hard, then you followed it up with the 2.5. So, okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
More technique.
Yep.
Oh, something's going on.
And all these.
Chad, there's
ahead,
not a picture of the break area over there, is there?
With the broken picnic table.
Okay.
A breaker.
Just beyond that truck.
Very nice, John. Thank you.
I don't see the toy. I don't see the toy truck in there either.
I was just asking. Sorry.
Hey, Jerry, you want to take this one? This is your area.
Sure. This is a nozzle reaction simulator that we built. It's just a piece of PVC pipe with some hockey tape on it. And we tie it into a substantial anchor. And there's a, in the end of this PVC pipe is a spring scale. So I originally bought or built this to show the difference in nozzle reaction between like 100 PSI combination nozzle and a smoothbore nozzle. So, you know, the 100 PSI combination nozzle is going to give you a lot more nozzle reaction. It's kind of hard to judge that, but with that little window in the PVC here, you can see the spring scale, and you can actually see how much difference there is in nozzle reaction with the smoothbore low pressure nozzles, low pressure, high volume nozzles. So it's just kind of a little gimmick that you can build one of these yourself at home. We'll show you how to use it, and it's just kind of fun.
Jerry, that's the one that I actually saw that way before I met you. That's the one from Brass Tacks and Hard Facts, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We featured it in Brass Tacks and Hard Facts in a section on nozzle reaction. And, you know, it's just kind of hard to judge, you know, what's 90 pounds, what's 60 pounds, what's 79 pounds. So you can actually, you know, you see it, you have a number, you have a measuring device, just like a flow meter. And Jeff talked about flow meters. We'll use flow meters to be sure we get the right flow out of the different nozzles. We'll show you how to use a pitot to verify that your fire attack system is flowing the right thing. So you'll not only get skills here at our station and our hands-on, but you get pretty much everything you need to know to run a good fire attack, run a good engine company, and it's kind of all packaged up in one day.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. This is once again going back to our little diversion after the second line of or second size hose line of show and flow and door control. Actually, this is just guys learning how to do door control, but you know that we're going to fine tune this a little bit more. with the position of the nozzle. We want the nozzle pointed up. The firefighter at the door, obviously in this situation, would be masked up, ready to go to work, but he'd be opening the door, but he'd also be crouching down more. Because if something would roll out of that door and light up, we don't want him to be right in the middle of a fireball. And that's another reason why we want that nozzle pointed upward when they start making entrance into a fire area. So, all right, well, we go over that stuff for everybody. So, okay.
There's the pitot, Jerry.
Yeah, I just mentioned this. Here we get a smoothbore nozzle. We're demonstrating how to use a pitot to be sure that nozzle pressure is correct. It's a way to test your fire attack system. Again, everybody get hands-on with this. This is just me demonstrating it, and we'll pass it around, and everybody gets the pitot line.
I don't know what I'm doing right here.
I think you're yelling at them. They hit it high.
Hit it high, hit it high. You'd be surprised. I come across something, I don't know where it was. Somebody's now picked up on that. Hit it high, get it up there, get it up there. So,
All right,
I guess,
Shupe,
I guess somebody's out there listening.
I think that's pretty much all the pictures.
Oh my gosh,
We'll
there's
leave it
one of
with
the
that
guys who was a great friend and super, and I owe a lot to this guy right here. I do. And of course, I'm not going to get into it here, but yeah, I mean, give the story out here, but you know, but Jerry Tracy, guys, super. So,
Right.
You know, that's for
that was
me,
Andy's captain at Squad 18. So,
this is one of the big values of FDIC. I mean, you know, Jerry Tracy talked to you like, you know, he's been a member of your company. You know, if you're a student of the game, and
yeah.
you know, Jerry's willing to share stuff with you, and you know, you just never know who you're going to talk to, and you make a lifelong friend. And holy
Yeah.
cow, it's great for your fire service career. You know, and just I'll give you a quick story. We're in the elevator, and some guys, we're two of us in the elevator. We're looking at each other, and I stuck my hand out. I said, "Hey, I'm Jerry Knapp." Not that meant anything. And he went, "Hey, I'm Glenn Corbett, the editor of Fire Engineering." Or he did a fire attack, firefighter 1 and 2 manual. Glenn and I got to be good friends just by doing that. So, you know, we talk a lot about nozzlemen and all that, but man, you can really make some contacts that are super for you.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, is there anything that we're going to go over that we didn't see pictures of? I know y'all North Americans talking about bringing some other kind of nozzle up there. We're going to do basement fires this year. The Bresnan.
No, Jerry and I were talking about demonstrating the Bresnan nozzle or Bresnan distributor nozzle. Yeah, I think we talked about that, but we're not going to have a session. Jerry, I think we were talking about just illustrate or putting it out there so everybody in the whole group could see it at one time.
Yeah, we'll have it set up. We'll have it set up so it's just a quick 5-minute demo. Yeah, just a quick 5-minute demo. So if you're not familiar with a Bresnan distributor, great for basement fires.
Jerry and I were talking on the phone today, and I was telling him I was in the shop in the barn, and I finished a device to determine a good fire stream by John Freeman, going back to the 1800s. So I took 2x4, got a 15-inch circle, cut it out, and put a framework around it. And so I'll have that out there. And Jerry and I were discussing how we can illustrate what a good fire stream is by visual definition. And that is where you start the stream in the center of the circle, open up, get it flowing, and then you start pulling the line back to where it seems like, okay, we're getting water, most of the water through. But one of John Freeman's definitions was that you were putting 90% of your stream through an imaginary 15-inch circle. Well, we're going to have that out there. So we'll have the line on the flow meter. And then what we want to do is have the students see the distance between that point of breakover and where the nozzle goes back to get an idea of the distance there. You know, because you talk to firefighters, oh, we were putting a stream of water 150 miles away. Oh, it was just great. You know, oh, no. In a lot of cases, it's not like that at all. So, and so we'll make an effort to do that too. Have that illustration out there. Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we've got our work cut out for us. We got a couple days of flowing. And then we got through the week, we got 3 of the members of the team are presenting here. So Jerry, Jeff, you want to talk about your presentations during the week? And then Jerry, if you can speak for Mr. Pillsbury, that'd be great.
Sure. Timmy's doing a class on PPE, you know, our turnout gear, kind of we take for granted. So he's going to review the state of the art turnout gear, cleaning, cancer prevention, all that kind of stuff. So Timmy's been all over that. So he's an engineer by trade. So he's a detail type guy. I think he's teaching that Wednesday. Wednesday morning, I'm doing my tactical response to natural gas emergencies. That's the mini version of the class we've been taking around the country. We just got back from Davenport, Iowa. Great bunch of guys out there, and I learned a lot with them. So that's going on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, I get to play fireman a little bit, you know. So
Yeah.
And Wednesday afternoon, 3:15, 3:30, whatever time. I've got my classroom presentation is going to be contemporary issues for the engine company in these here modern times. And I'm looking forward to have a good time with that class, because last year it was interesting. I had a thing while I was up there. You know, if you guys were in my class, you know, I was like, does anybody want to hear this stuff, you know, from the past, from an old guy or something like that? And it was like, how are people relating to it and things like, and it hit me. This is the stuff that everybody needs to hear. You know, when you talk about history of the job, history of the equipment, how it came about, what its use was, why we needed it, things like that. And as you guys know, when I was in Denver with you guys, and I did that class out there, I just let it fly, and it worked great. So, well, anyways, that's what we plan to do, is have a great time Wednesday afternoon. And I'm going to let it fly on contemporary issues, the past and the present, and so forth. So we'll have a great time.
Yeah, it should be great.
Give you a lot of stuff to think about and look at. Okay.
Looking forward to it. Well, Mike and Chad, John, you guys want to chime in on FDIC this year?
Chad, you want to go first?
Muted, Chet.
Looking forward to it. It's been a couple months since we've all been together, actually, and you know, it's a great class. I love being there, a part of it. FDIC, I've been going since 2012. It never gets old. Always learn something new. Get to hang out with the greatest guys in the world. So looking forward to it.
Right on.
Did you mean us, like the greatest guys in the world, or
Yes,
just?
yes, John. I meant you.
I love it.
You knew he was going to jump on it. I was looking at everybody's face and how we were all holding back, and who would it be?
Yeah.
You knew who it was going to be.
That's for sure. All right, who's next up?
Well, yeah, I guess Shupe, you and I just spent some time together here in Kansas City. That was lots of fun.
That was.
Got to show Shupe the insides of KCK. But at FDIC, we're gonna do our normal gig, and I'm looking forward to seeing the group again, because it's been a couple months, and then meeting all the new faces, and probably some past students, and we just get to flow and work. We're an open book. We share the information. We don't hoard it, and we pass on true skills that have been presented to us, that have been successful. We just keep it simple. There's no gimmies. There's no tricks to it. And I promise, if anybody's listening to this, you will walk away experiencing probably one of the best engine company classes from the ground up, from the hydrant to the 60th floor. You'll know how to get hose and water flowing.
Thank you. And that's what we need to have, is that positive explanation of what we're about. Absolutely right. Keeping it simple. And then you will understand it better. In too many cases today, somebody's looking for something, and number one, in black and white. Number two, they think it has to be complex to be right. And we blow that right out of the water. Folks, you come to our class, you'll see firefighting should be simple, because the fire is going to make it complex enough for you. Right,
Amen.
Mr. Mater?
I can't beat Micah's right there. That was pretty good, Micah. I
Hey,
look forward
man.
to seeing all of you guys and all of our students in a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. When are you
Well-
going out there?
A week and a half.
Fucking 10 days.
Well, we're without you this year.
Where's everyone at?
Oh no, we just told them let the beans out.
Yeah,
Damn it.
we told John it was going to be on the 28th. Everybody's
Hold
on
on, I'm
28th.
gonna check this out.
Oh, you
boy.
had to find out.
Bastards.
We never
well.
do something like that.
Thanks for joining us tonight on our overview of FDIC, guys. We hope to see as many people as possible there. If you can't get into our class, or if you're committed elsewhere, please catch up with us on any of the socials in the evenings. We'll be out there looking for those in our class and those that wanted to be in our class, and we'll chat you up. We'll share what we have with you. Like Micah said, we're an open book. We're interested in spreading the wisdom that's been handed to us cautiously to you. So look for us and let's talk. All right, guys. Great quick discussion tonight on FDIC. Let's wrap this up and get together in 10 days.
Okay, man.
I'll rearrange my calendar. Thanks, guys.
All right, you're welcome.
Y'all be safe, guys.
Yep.
Have a great night. See ya.
Good night.